Hello everybody, Haj here. Today I'm going to talk about the Blender Industry Compatible Keymap. Sometimes when you're going between Maya, 3D Studio Max, or other DCC packages, your navigations can kind of get a little wonky going between them. So with Industry Compatible Keymap, I found my workflow is a little bit more seamless, navigations more consistent. So let's get into it. To download Blender, you just got to go to www.blender.org. Just download the latest Blender. You will be introduced with a splash page. So you just come here, delete the cube, and you'll notice that everything is really small. So to fix that, we're going to go here to Edit, Preferences, or Control, Comma. As you can see, there's a shortcut here right next to that. And under Interface, we're just going to scale this up to your liking. And the next thing we're going to do is go to our key map. And this is where you actually change from the Blender default key map to industry compatible. I'm going to select that. One more thing that we're going to do is go to our system preferences and be sure that optics is checked with your graphics cards, and Vulkan. If you want the latest Blender 5, be sure that's checked so that you have access to the better viewport. It's a little bit more efficient in the 3D viewport. Also, one more thing, be sure that once you have selected all your preferences, to save your preferences. So click this little hamburger icon and click Save Preferences. So that when you start Blender up again, your preferences will be here, just like you set them up. So here in Blender, what we'll see here, where all the action happens, is our main 3D viewport. Up here on the top right, you click this little icon, you'll see that we're in our outliner. Click this icon, you'll see these are our properties. Down at the bottom, we have our timeline. And up at the top here, you can see that our main 3D viewport is selected. So every panel can pretty much be changed. You know, we can change this to properties, we can change this to outliner. And another thing to remember is that our UI itself can also be modified. If we go here and we see these little crosshairs and click and drag, you'll see it'll open up a new window. And then up in this icon, we can actually change that to whatever we want. We want to go into the UV editor, the shader editor. So it's very customizable. If you want to collapse, you just go back onto the divider, right click, and join right. So now that we are in the industry compatible key map, if you hold down Alt and left drag, we're going to get our tumble. Alt middle mouse will get our pan, and Alt right mouse will get our zoom in and out. One thing to note though is if you do want to change your zoom to be more like Maya or another 3D software that you're used to, you can go to navigation here and invert your mouse with the zoom direction. So now it'll be more reminiscent of Maya. But don't forget, when you do want to change any of your preferences, be sure to go to Edit Preferences and save your preferences so that your inverted zoom mouse will be the same when you start Blender up again. One of the great things about Blender is quick favorites. So if you did want to say add like a cube to your quick favorites, you just click on it, right click, and add to quick favorites. So how do you call on it? So if you do forget anything in Blender and you want to call upon it, remember you can just go back to your preferences, edit preferences, or control comma, and up here at the top you can actually search by name or by key binding. So let's just type in quick, and there it is. You can change it here to any keyboard shortcut you want, but it's Shift Tab. So we'll just type in Shift Tab, and there's our cube. And if you want to call on anything at all in Blender, then you can just go to your viewport here and click tab. And here you'll see everything in Blender is also located under this tab menu. One thing to take note of too is if you ever want to export your keymaps, just go to Edit, Preferences, and under Keymap, export your keymaps. You can then import them into any version of Blender that you have. So hopefully this will get you up and running in Blender. For me personally, when I was transitioning from Maya to Blender, I would just take each tool that I used in Maya and found out how do I do that in Blender, and just went to the preferences, changed my hotkeys to match more Maya so that I wouldn't get so confused with the Blender interaction and navigation. But the industry compatible keymap was basically my stepping stone to learning Blender. If you are new to 3D, I would just say just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and try to do a little bit of 3D every day. That'll help you kind of get into the rhythm of doing 3D and just keep practicing. I'll be making more of these videos, so if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.